Day of the Dead is a Mexican celebration that honors the dead, and we're going to tell you a little more about this beautiful festivity, but in this wonderful state that is called Oaxaca, which have a whole universe of languages and groups originating from the region, added to the gastronomic exuberance, colonial architecture and living traditions. In this video, we will start with the history of this tradition. Then you will know more about the Altar de Muertos, other topics, and finally, we will see 2 interviews with foreign people talking about Day of the Dead. As I mentioned, Día de Muertos or Day of the Dead is a celebration of life and death. While the holiday originates in Mexico, it is celebrated all over Latin America. The Mexican costume combines an indigenous Aztec ritual with Catholicism, brought to the region by Spain conquistadors. Day of the Dead celebration of the lives of the deceased, in addition to celebrating with food, drinks, and activities the dead enjoy in life. Families clean and decorate grave sites of loved ones in Day of the Dead. The dead are also remembered with ofrendas, small personal altars honoring one person. Popular symbols of Day of the Dead are calacas and calaveras, skeletons and skulls. They appear in candy streets, as paired masks, and as a doll during the holiday. Calacas and calaveras are often portrayed in fancy clothes and entertaining situations. On Day of the Dead, it is thought that the dead awaken from their eternal sleep to celebrate with their loved ones.
The Day of the Dead is the only night of the year when our ancestors can come to visit us. In Mexico, the people believe that the souls of the deceased return to Earth during the Day of the Dead, causes people to place offerings to receive them. It is also common to visit cemeteries and place candles on the tombs to illuminate the path of the souls on their return home. In some places, even it's customary to bring musical groups and mariachis that interpret the favorite songs of the deceased. In Mexican homes, it's also customary to eat typical dishes, sweets, and pan de muerto, making this a very familiar tradition. The celebration of the Day of the Dead varies from region to region, from town to town, but all have a common principle. The family gathers to welcome the souls, place the altars and offerings, visit the cemetery and arrange the tombs, attend the religious service, dismiss the visitors and sit down at the table to share the food that after having been raised the offering, they have lost their aroma and flavor because the deceased have taken their essence.
This tradition is Mexican. For many years, our ancestors believed that the spirit that resides in the earth is sides. Along with some European customs, an altar was created with offering to the dead. They believed that the spirit needed to be guided and fed spiritually to continue its way to other world. Commonly, the altars have 7 levels. Each level means something according to the region where it is created. Some say it is 7 deadly sins, and others the 7 stages, through which the spirit passes to reach rest or spiritual peace. Among the most common objects that are placed on the altar are water, candles, copal, incense, cempasúchil, aleli, an arch of flowers, and fruits that symbolize the entrance to underworld. but it's an object that you can never miss it. It is customary to put a photo of deceased person and in some cases a mirror that symbolize that they are dead but cannot be seen. It is said that food and salt purify the soul among other things. It begins when a person of the house light the candles of the altar whispering the names of deceased, by asking gods favors so that they arrive with good. The related sit down at the table and share the prepared food for the feast. Listen to music of deceased liking. The news of the family is discussed anecdotes of the deceased and remember as the deceased intercession to God is the key.
The dead go to different kingdoms where the gods live. The most common way someone dies is a natural death, and to the kingdom where they go is to Mictlán. Mictlán means place where the dead struggle to achieve eternal rest. They had to go through different stages in order to reach their destination. Some of these stages are Tepeme Monacmictlán, which means where the mountains collide. Iztepetl, which means obsidian mountain. Temiminaloyan, which means place of the arrows. Teyocualoyan, which means where your heart will lead you. Chiconohualoyan, which means where you become one with the whole.
I'd say that we mainly just go to church and say prayers, but not as big of a festival as this.
What do they usually eat on those days?
What do we eat on those days? We do like a communion with wine and a piece of bread.
Yeah. Actually, neighbors bring food over.
Or neighbors will bring food over. But other thing, you should do it.
Mexico has an unusual way of celebrating it these days.
Yeah,
Deceased? What do you think about our culture?
It's much better. I feel like you guys really appreciate your ancestors more than we do, and I feel like we should have something like this as well, where you really take the time out to do it every year to celebrate, your deceased. I think you guys do it a really great way, and it's very cheerful and all involved and inclusive.
Okay, what do you like most about our culture?
Ooh, the food. The food and the bright colored clothing, for sure.
What's your favorite food here in Oaxaca?
My favorite food? I love like guacamole and tostadas.
Okay. Do you prove the mole?
I actually don't like mole that much. It's a little too sweet. I like it if it's more spicy versus sweet. So if it's a mole that has a spice to it, then I like it more.
Which places here in Oaxaca have you visited?
Food or in general?
In general, places.
We went to the textile museum, and then we went inside the cathedral as well. Santo Domingo Cathedral, and the neighborhood up north, just north of here as well.
What was the main reason you decided to come here?
For Day of the Dead, and my mom had come here already once before with our grandma, so we were kind of reliving that trip again with her.
Okay. Which activities of this celebration do you like more?
I like all the music for sure.
All the music
Yeah.
and the food?
Yeah, the music and the food. I love watching the performances and We went to the cemetery last night, and it was really nice that they were giving out free like hot chocolate and bread. It felt really nice.
What cemetery do you visit?
We went to
Panteón General,
Barrio
barrio de Xochimilco.
Xochimilco.
Xochimilco, barrio de Xochimilco.
Yeah.
Would you like to come next year?
Yes.
Yes. Do you like to
Definitely.
much?
Yeah.
Ah, it's okay.
I would love to.
That's all.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
much.
Yeah, like we have, well, not like this, and like we have a special burial, and we have like a gathering after a burial, and then we visit their graves like all the time whenever we want to, and we take flowers and things to the graves, but we don't have a community celebration like you have here. It's just a personal thing. It's quiet. It's not like how you celebrate. This is lovely here. We do it just quietly within our own family, personal family time. You just visit the grave, you take flowers.
I think it's more sad. Like,
Yeah,
it's always more of a sad thing in Australia. Here it seems like it's happy and celebrated and one in a different light, a different frame of thinking.
Yeah.
And it's also more in the same days, or it changed?
There is no special day we do it. We just do it when we want to do it. Yeah, we just go visit the grave when we want to do it. There's not a national day for it like you have here. Yeah, it's just we have a burial, we have a little celebration after the burial, reflect on the life of the person, have meat like food and drinks, but then everyone's just sad, and then you visit the grave, take flowers as often as you want, but there is not like a community celebration, not like this. We don't do this. Yeah.
What do they usually eat these days?
What kind of food do you eat?
What do you eat?
To eat.
So,
Like for after a burial.
yeah, actually they have like pan de,
Yeah.
like
A club,
pan de muerte.
tea room.
It's so different, man. Like, there's no day like they don't celebrate. They don't have a day of the dead. No exist there. It's like
You just go to like a restaurant or a hall, and you have food and tea and coffee and drinks, and celebrate with your family after it happens. And then we don't have a day every year where we have this.
¿Cómo es típico aquí?
What kind of food?
Yeah.
We have a mole. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, moles.
Mole, tamales, chocolate.
But that's specific por Día de las Muertes? Or
Most
just-
mole.
just-
Mole, yeah.
Wow.
And tamales. That's the typical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mexico has an unusual way of celebrating its season. What do you think about our culture? What is your opinion of?
Opinion of what you do? Oh, it's really good.
About here.
I think it's amazing, really. Like it was, because we visited a cemetery the other night, and two families offered us to sit with them and with their family.
Oh, yeah.
And
Which
have-
one did you visit?
Yeah, like the Nuevo Panteón in Hoboken. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing to see what you do here. We don't have anything like that.
Esperando.
Yes.
tacos.
Celebrate.
Yeah, we just go quietly to our cemeteries, lay some flowers, might just sit there for a bit, and we go. We don't sit around and celebrate the
What
life
do you
and
think
have
about
music and
the
candles.
smell of the
and
flowers?
the flower. Yeah, it was beautiful.
The smell of the
The
flowers.
flowers were everywhere,
Yeah.
like the marigold flowers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing.
What do you like most about our culture?
Or about
About our culture.
oh, I think just the way you just all come out together as a community. It's like these central areas, like the park here, the square. Like everyone just comes and meets, and as family groups, like little kids are out late at night running around having fun. Very social. It seems to be very family orientated.
Yeah.
And they seem to look after the elders in the family well here, from what I've observed. I just like, to come out on the streets and eat and all be together.
All the activities and a family day.
Yeah.
Go out
Yeah. You do it better than Australia. I think you do it better. We have some great stuff
it's
too.
Good to know
but
different cultures. So.
It is different. Yeah.
There's a lot of good things about Australia.
For example,
This
like.
This is cool.
For example, you like our culture. Maybe if we go to Australia, we like your culture.
Yeah, everyone's got something different to offer, but this I'll never forget this. Yeah, it's very special.
And what's your favorite food here in Oaxaca?
Favorite
food?
Food? Oh,
Tlayudas.
tostadas.
That's a good one.
What's it? Rice, the leche. It's a rice. The rice, the
Arroz con leche.
arroz con leche. Tostadas, tacos.
Yeah. Tacos,
Just love all of it. Love all of it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
And which places here in Oaxaca have you visited?
All around the city. We went up to waterfall, the big waterfall.
Hierve el agua.
How we say it?
Hierve el agua.
Heron.
I don't know if this one is Petrific Waterfall.
Petrified, yes. We went up there.
Hierve el agua.
Yeah, we went up there. So we went up there. It was amazing. We did that, and then we've been to a couple of little towns outside Hawaii City. Just mainly been in the city though. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.